Okay, folks, here we go. I'm doing a little update video. How crazy was the vine thing? I mean, okay, and hey, by the way, I want to clear something up because somebody wrote a really crazy hateful comment. They wrote, "Hey, I know you manipulated the vine. I've lost all trust in you." I'm like, "Really?" And I was like, "Really? That's crazy." Because, you know, the wind blows, we've had some rain, and the position of that vine where it's at the head symbol has, you know, moved a little bit from yesterday or the day before yesterday, the day before we had photographed it. Well, yesterday that thing was growing straight up the middle. Now today I videotaped it, and today it's gone straight up the middle, and it's making a little like cause like the weight of the you know, pod where the flower is going to come out is weighing down. So anyway, I was on the phone with Kat, and I heard the Lord clear as a bell say, "Jonathan, I want you to put a little frame around the head symbol now so the plant can grab on." And I was like, "That's crazy." And so I was on the phone with Kat, and I prayed. I said, "Lord, this is what I heard you say. This is what I'm picturing in my head, that, you know, you want me to, you know, put something for the vine to grab onto." And so I told Kat, I said, "Yeah, I guess I can put something in the grout, like screws and some wire or something." And so anyway, I said, "You know, Lord, I wanted to pray, and I wanted to just ask you a direct question." And I said, "I'm just going to ask you, and can you tell me that that's what you're, you know, confirm that's what you're telling me to do?" And so Kat and I prayed, and I said, "Kat, would you just reach over and grab at the source and just open it?" It's impossible. It said improv, make happen, put in one's mind. I was like, "That's crazy. That's exactly what I just said." I was like, "That's what's going in my mind. Like, I see it in my head, and the Lord's telling me to do it." Now, here's the other thing. See the table right here? Last night, I was sitting at that chair right there, and I was praying and talking to the Lord for quite a while. And while I was sitting there, I was looking at the table. I had started the lights on it, and they started in a random sequence. Usually, if you plug 4 of these lights in and you start them, they all start the same color at the same time. They go through a sequence. Well, when I plugged them into the power strip and I hit the power strip on, 3 of the lights weren't on, so I had to click them on. And so it gave it a different sequence. So while I'm sitting in this chair, the Lord's Prayer was a rainbow just going around the whole table. Just the words were changing in rainbow fashion. I was just like, so then I went, "Oh my gosh, I got to photograph this." So check it out. So I sit down right here. And so I'm sitting here last night. I'm like, okay, I've got to photograph those words changing in rainbow fashion. I'm photographing my phone. I see, I've got my phone. And I'm taking pictures of this table. Watch what happens to my screen when I take a picture of the Lord's Prayer. It looks like lightning hitting the table. Watch. Isn't that crazy? So I'm photographing the Lord's Prayer in the table. It looks like lightning coming down into the Lord's Prayer. Oh my gosh, that's just crazy. You know what? I'm gonna plug it in right now just so y'all can see this. Okay, they're not gonna be rainbow now because they're gonna start in a regular sequence. So look. Plug it in right now. There it is. It's starting in a regular sequence. So they're all going to be, you know, the same color at the same time. But last night, all the words were different colors. They were like the color of a rainbow. And you see now how they're all blue at the same time. Well, last night the words were blue, green, orange, yellow, red, going through one panel. But you see how all the panels are the same color at the same time, see? What's really fascinating about this vine is that when the wind comes and stuff, it keeps changing the position of it. You see those little arm things that are trying to clasp on? Look how this thing made this U-turn right in the middle. Last night we had a bunch of wind and a bunch of rain, so it just, you know, the middle of this vine has been all over that head symbol, which is in the middle, you know, here of the building, which would be the orientation of the cross of Christ. You know, 2 on the side, 1 in the middle, but look at that, that's about the bud. That is crazy the way it went all the way across the house and went straight to that het symbol that's in the middle, of the house. That is just mind-boggling. I'm gonna take a close-up of that so we can see where those little spindle arms go to grab on. And there's the flowers.